What is with all the different, I think that Zoom has done something weird. They changed something.
I don't remember, like the stop video, is that what you were talking about, Jackie, at the bottom there?
Mine's doing that too.
Yeah, I don't remember that there before. That's what I pressed and then I popped up.
Yeah, if you, like, let me see if I'll do it now. So now I go to my phone, my face, and then now I'm back.
Yeah, so it's that stop video button.
Yeah, I have to hit it every time, but it's like, even I see two names, like I see iPhone here, so I know their face won't show, but I see two names and I can't see their faces. You guys aren't seeing them yet, right?
No, but sometimes that happens to a couple of people on my team. If they get on their iPad for however they set it up on their iPad, for whatever reason, that happens.
It just doesn't work?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just get started, and then hopefully some faces will start showing up eventually. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, there's
Amanda.
Oh, it's just like a huge delay, which is really bizarre.
No, it's because I'm on my iPhone, and if I click on the bottom, it says start video or stop video. Mine was on stop for some reason.
Same with me.
All right. Here's the chat thing. Okay. I am going to mute everybody except for then Laura. I will unmute you.
Okay.
Mute all. And then let me unmute Laura. You guys can hear me, right? Okay. Laura, can you say something?
Hi.
Okay, good. We're working. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you guys all joined us. Thank you for being here. I'm really excited because I'm going to go over a few tips that I think are super helpful for making Success Club. We all know how tough that is, right? And it's this month. I don't know what's going on. Usually I feel like January through April are pretty easy months. I shouldn't say easy, but they're easier than the rest of the year. And for some reason, this year has been kind of a struggle. January started out really strong. I think the All Access Challenge Pack was a huge help. And then for some reason, February and March were just have been pretty difficult for people. I'm seeing it this month, especially because by now we usually have a lot more people who've already hit Success Club 5 and a lot more people that have already hit 10. And so it's just been one of those really weird years. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for us to have some kind of international launch. I know that the buzz has been that it's going to be the UK, which would be completely amazing because I think a lot of people have already been trying to like target UK friends. I know I have with limited success, but I'm trying. So I know when we launched in Canada, it completely changed my business. Like that took my business from 0 to 50 literally in like a few months. So I'm hoping that you guys will see some of that when we launch somewhere else and have a whole new group of people from different places that are just going to come streaming in. So let's keep our fingers crossed on that. But let's go over a few Success Club tips, and then I will get into introducing Laura and let her speak and give some tips on what has made her business grow so much over the last few months. So Success Club. Okay. One of the things that I find works for me is I try to break it down by week. Now, I'm always inviting. I'm always building relationships. Like I used to only invite when it was time for me to try to make Success Club. So I would do it for like the first 2 weeks of the month, and then I would stop doing it. I had this really bizarre system that didn't work, or I should say lack of a system. And now that I invite consistently every day based on the system that I'm using and what Laura will go over with you guys in a little bit, it has given me people to talk to consistently and constantly. So I want to make sure that you guys never stop inviting. It's a daily process. It's something you should be doing constantly and consistently. And when things get tough, don't stop, work harder. That is like my motto, seriously. When things get hard, you've got to keep going. A lot of people choose to like shut down, and that's the time for you to push harder. Friend request more people. You guys, I sound like a broken record. I know some of you guys have heard me say this a million times, but friend request more people, build more relationships, et cetera, that whole thing. And one of the things that helps me is to ask myself, okay, how many people do I want to help that month? If my goal is to make a minimum of Success Club 10, I always shoot for 12. This month I am sucking. I'm at 5 and I am waiting for one person to order, but I feel like I've got nothing else in the works right now. But if my goal is to help at least 6 people a month with challenge packs, how many is that weekly? That means I have to shoot for at least 1 to 2 every week. So I kind of make that my goal. But then again, let's say that you do that, right? So by Thursday, you've got 2 people who bought challenge packs. Are you going to slow down? No, you're going to keep going, because if you can get 4 people that you help that week, just take some of the pressure off for the rest of the month. Okay, so you might need to break that down in terms of how many people do you need to speak with daily? How many people do you need to be inviting, et cetera, et cetera. Typically for about every 10 invites, I get maybe 1 to 2 that'll ask questions, and about every 15 to 20 invites, I get 1 that joins. That seems to be like my average ratio. I don't know if everybody else finds that to be the same, but that's kind of what works for me. Every day when you're posting, tie something into coaching and challenge groups with 1 post. Somehow just slip a little something in there to leave clues every day. So from now on, for the rest of this month and from here on out, one of your posts, that's whether fitness related or it's business related, drop some kind of a hint. If you're posting about what you're doing for the day, like I just posted about this the other day in Powerhouse. If you're posting about something you're doing for the day, drop a clue about how it ties into your business. Be grateful for what you're able to do. I mean, you're all sitting on this call at 12 o'clock instead of working. Maybe some of you are at work and still just jumping on the call, but whatever the case is, that's a luxury to be able to do that. I used to not be able to do these things when I worked in the corporate world. So like little things like that, or talk about your challenge groups when you're talking about your own fitness. Just drop little clues that way. Sweaty workout pictures, you guys. I know that seems like so stupid, but those actually work. If you do them enough, and if you're posting something daily about your workouts or what you've pre-workout, post-workout, Energize, Shakeology, whatever the case is, whatever trainer you're working with, post every day about what day you're on. Week 1 of T25 finished, week 2, whatever it is. Those things eventually make a huge difference, and your before and afters are amazing. So progress pictures are the best form of accountability, you guys. When you're starting a program, post a darn picture, and then keep posting those like every week. I watch Amy Silverman do this, and it's insane how much her business has grown since she started doing that. Okay, and then the last thing is, do not limit yourself. Well, I shouldn't say the last thing, but almost last thing. Do not limit yourself to Success Club 5. I always tell new coaches, you want to at least hit 5. So I never want to freak them out when they first sign up and tell them to go for more. But I really do feel like everybody should be shooting for 10. Because what's the worst that's going to happen then? Maybe you'll end up with 5 or 7 or 6 or whatever the case is. I don't think we have any single digits anymore, since they started with the 2 points per Shakeology order now. But anyways, I feel like never, ever just go for 5. And one of the things that I find super important that helps me, I don't know about you guys, personal development first thing in the morning before I talk to people, because let's face it, we all wake up on the wrong side of the bed sometimes, right? I find that personal development before I'm actually going to go have conversations with people makes a huge, huge difference for me. This business requires braveness. It requires boldness. It requires guts. I mean, it requires all those things. And personal development is going to help you with those things when you're not feeling it. I know for me, some days I need a pep talk, and I feel like personal development gives me that. So, definitely just a little tip for me that works for me. And last, a tracking system. This I cannot stress enough. I didn't have a tracking system, like a good one. It was pen and paper, kind of half-assed. I never really did anything really, really good. My tracking system was a mess, and it showed for the first 5 years of my business. So until I started that, things did not change and become more regular for me. And so if you don't have a tracking system, you're probably missing out on a lot. And Laura's proof of that. So this is the perfect way for me to get into an introduction for her, because that's really one of the things that she needed to get in place, which has completely changed her business too. So let me just tell you a little about Laura. She is an Emerald coach right now, but she's been over the last few months that her and I have been working together. And this is not because of me, you guys. I just passed on a system that I was using to her, and she took it and ran with it and went above and beyond. So she's done more than I even suggested for her to do. The things that I told her helped me. She took it to a whole other level. So I've watched her business explode over the last few months. She went from kind of not really making Success Club, making it here and there, to consistently making it every month. She actually, and she's not even my coach. She's Jackie Benoit's coach, who is actually under Lori Lever, who's under Heather, who's under my husband, but whatever. So, but just the things that I've gotten to see in Laura over the last few months is crazy. Her confidence has soared, and she's been more comfortable, and she's been more open, and all these things. And she has been an Emerald coach for a while. Laura, how long have you been an Emerald coach?
Oh gosh, I hit Emerald within my first few months of my business. So well over a year and a bit.
Okay. And she came to me. She was only one coach away. Like a week ago, she discovered, holy cow, I'm one coach away from Diamond. So she shot me a message. Was it Saturday? I think.
Saturday, I forget.
I think so. She said, okay, I really want to be Diamond by the call Monday. I'm like, we'll do it. I mean, we know rank advancements don't change until Thursday. But I said, do it. You can do this. Do you have somebody who's considering signing up? And she did. And I said, well, let's see what you can do. And she messaged me last night, you guys and the girls signed up. So Laura will officially be Diamond on Thursday, which is freaking amazing considering she sat at Emerald for a year-ish. And I've watched her business just blow up over the last few months. So I'm really excited to introduce her. And I want her to share what has worked for her and what has helped her grow so fast, because I think that we can all use this information, even if we've been around for a while. I mean, I know that I can, and I'm sure that I'll learn just as much from her as I would from anybody else. So who's a 10-star Diamond. So I'm excited. Laura, I'm going to let you just share with everybody what has been helping you. And there you go.
Okay.
Laura's yours.
I'm not sitting crooked. I just have to tell you guys, we have a new coach beside me who's hiding. So I'm not sitting crooked for the reason there. Okay. So when I started working with Shannon, it was December 1st, which for me was a huge mindset day because that was a year ago I left my marriage. So the day I started working with Shannon, I was like, that's it. I'm ready. Like, I'm putting the crap behind me. It's been a year. It's time to move forward. So I kind of took that time and really jumped into it. So the first steps Shannon told me to do is to add new friends. So what I do is I go under one of my friends and I will add every single mutual friend of ours that we have 10 or more mutual friends. So I may have 70 people that I add in one day, that I request in one day. It's however amount that one friend has is how many requests I put in a day. I don't cap it at 10. I don't cap it at 20. I don't even cap it at 50. I just keep hitting request and Facebook doesn't stop me. So that's the first thing. And I will tell you, I was astonished the amount of people that accepted and just started conversations with me. Like, I used to message Shannon and I'd be like, holy crap, my phone's on fire. Like, I can't keep up with these people. So I would add them. And then once they accepted me, I would wait a few days and then I'd send them this blurb like, hey, thanks so much for the ad. Saw we had mutual friends and thought I'd hit request. A blurb Shannon gave me. And it, I would say 75% of the time, opened the door to a conversation. 75% of the people replied back and we would just start talking. So that was huge because I'd always been adding people and thanking them for accepting my friendship, but then it would be nothing. It'd be dead air. This blurb really opened the door. So I would write them down paper and pen because I'm a paper and pen girl. I tried an actual computerized system. Can't. It's way above me. So that's what I do. And I'll tell you, I shoot for 200 new friends a month. So it's been a lot. I went from having not even 2,000 friends in December to almost hitting 2,700 friends now. So I've added a ridiculous amount of friends and I've spoken to almost every single one of them. So I've given them the blurb. I write their name down on my tracker, which is just a pretty notebook. It's nothing special. And then every single day when I log on, the first thing I do is I go under my friends list and I go to recently added and I update this list. So every morning, the first thing I do is I see who accepted overnight, blah, 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 and I just write all their names down. And if they respond to me to the blurb, I just put a check mark beside their name so I know that they've responded. I don't know why. It's just something I wanted to keep track of. So I just put a check mark beside their name, easy breezy. I don't send out those blurbs right away, though. I usually wait 2-3 days, sometimes even a week, because I don't want to look like I'm stalking them. So I wait a little bit. So then what I do is I track who accepted what month. So this is February. So these are all the friends I made in February, which is lots of fun. And then what I do is over here is I write down when I'm inviting them. So I talk to people for almost 60 days. So I check their wall weekly. So I go through this every week. I check their wall weekly. And then after 60 days, I'll invite them to my free group because I still run free groups every month. So I invite them to that. Which some of them have replied, some of them haven't. And then I'll wait 30 more days and I'll invite them to my challenge group, even if they didn't reply to my free group. I still invite them, and it's all personal invites. It's not just in the event clicking their name. I'm personally inviting every single one of them. Tons are responding. Tons are saying, thanks so much for the info. I'll keep it in mind. Some are saying, not my thing. Thank you. But I'm getting so many responses. It's insane. And in regards to actually following up with them and checking their walls, so what I've done is I've assigned every month a day of the week. So if I became friends with them in February, I check them Wednesdays. So today I know I check December's. So anyone I added in December's gets checked on a Monday. I go through I think I had 220 friends in December. I went through all of them this morning and went on their wall, saw if they had any new stuff, any new value. Some people I've gotten to know now don't post a lot, so I don't even check them weekly. I'll check them bi-weekly or monthly. But it's been 3 months now, so I know those people's names and who to check and who not to check. So it's really a system that has worked for me. A lot of people are quite receptive to it. And then, yeah, that's really, it's the tracking. It's the actual writing it down. I know Shannon uses Asana, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. So this works well for me. And I write down. So like when I met these people, they were invited to the April free group and the May challenge group. So I haven't even invited any of these people to anything yet. And they're all in this book. So these are all, like, I have pages and pages of names of people waiting to be invited. So now when I start an event, I'm starting an event with 200 names to add, 200 people to invite. So that's how I do it.
That is crazy, Laura. I mean, you've got, it's very similar to the way that I work, obviously, but the pen and paper thing and I ask all these people on Wednesdays and I do that, like those things are definitely different. And everybody has to find their own way for sure. And this clearly is working for you. I think this is a question that people are going to want to know. Okay. How long is this taking you every day? Like if you sit down and do your to-do list and you have to check 200 walls, how long are these things taking you? Like how long do you work every day?
Well, I'm home all day, right? So I don't really have a crunch time. Mm-hmm. So I will say if I sat down and did the 200, that probably takes me the hour, right? The 200 would probably, if I'm thoroughly actually going to check their walls, it's going to probably be about an hour for me. Mm-hmm. But I don't all do it all at once, right? Like this morning I did, I think, half of it and I'm going to do the other half tonight. As long as I get it done at some point in the day, I'm not crunching myself. Mm-hmm. So I would guess an hour.
Okay.
But I've gotten it down to a science now, right? So, yeah. And I'm also playing around with the friends list in Facebooks, right? I can add all of my January friends to a January list, which would save me. Jackie taught us that tool, and I love it because I'm playing with it now. That would save me a heck of a lot of time because then I'm not typing in their names, right? I'm just clicking on their names.
Yeah, I probably need to start doing that too. I actually have notes to do that, and I never started it. And
so do I, and I remembered last night.
Yeah, I need to do that too. That was a great idea, Jackie.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I find interesting is that when I always tell people to friend request, I always stress that people you may know, right? But then what happens is people stop showing up on people you may know. Like you start seeing more coaches and you start seeing people that like you're not going to friend request because, I don't know, maybe it's men or whatever. And so I had to start going through like Laura and actually friend requesting friends of my friends, like personally going in each friend's name. And I leave a note about which friend I left off with. So then when the next day when I'm checking the friend, I know who to go under and look at their friends. So I do that same thing as Laura. However, I cut off my friend request at a certain amount. I stop at like 35 she will keep going throughout that day. And that is where I think that each person probably needs to figure out what works for them based on their time schedule. Obviously, the more you do, the better. Laura's business has grown so much because she has made so many new friends and she's put forth the effort. If you do a little bit less, it may take a little longer, but at least you know you're still making progress. So whether it's 20 friends, whether it's 40, whether it's you want to do it the way she is and just doing that and going through that entire friends of that person's friends, then I think that it has to be whatever works for you. I have the time, she has the time, it's easier for us to do more, but everybody has to figure it out. Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody because I want everybody to be able to ask questions.
And I don't really friend request a lot of men. I was, if I had like 40 or more friends with them, but even a lot of them are still a little creepazoids. So I've slowed down. But, so it's mainly women that I am friend requesting.
I don't blame you. I think that it gets a little hard with men too. Let's open this up to some questions and see if there's anything that maybe sounds confusing about this. There's something that you guys might feel like you need us to elaborate more on or Laura to elaborate more on. Just feel free to fire away. Oh, okay. Or you can post it in the chats.
Yeah.
Amanda has screaming children.
I saw that.
That's not mine.
I have a basement full of children too because it's a snow day.
Oh, snow day.
Like I have a 3-year-old home who's pretty rowdy, but he's actually been pretty quiet.
Yay!
They're actually pretty quiet right now. I think there's 5 of them downstairs.
Oh my God.
In the basement.
Laura, what was the original blurb that you were talking about that you sent?
Shannon sent it to me, and either her or I can post it, but it was kind of like, hey girl, thanks so much for the ad, for the ad. I kept seeing your name pop up on my screen and thought I finally hit request.
Okay, that's what I do too. I thought it
Yeah.
Laura, you posted it already because I copied and pasted it.
In Headstrong, I did.
Yeah.
Whoa. I think that has helped me a lot because it really makes it lighthearted. When I become friends with somebody to be so like, just like, haha. I hope you don't mind. You kept showing up on People You May Know. Thanks so much for the ad. It's nice to finally meet you, LOL, kind of a thing. I think it really just makes people comfortable. And I've had so many people tell me, I really appreciate you reaching out because I get friend requests and then they just don't say anything.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
I think people appreciate the fact that we reach out to them and just try to get to know them a little bit. And sometimes it leads into conversations and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes people don't really even answer, which is fine, but
and sometimes it leads to other opportunities. So I met a photographer who does brides only, and she's asked me to link up with her and do like a cleaning blog for her brides.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a whole other door now that her and I are just kind of playing with. That had I not give her this blurb, it never would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
What does does anybody have any questions on how this works, or does it seem confusing, or do you have a better system that you'd like to share on how you do? Thanks.
Why did it go on?
Anyone? No?
I just have to say, since Laura shared the system with me last week, my brain, it simplified things for me immensely. Like when I sit down, I don't feel like I'm doing nothing.
Yeah. That's how I felt too.
And I feel like I'd always hear about top coaches getting their work done before they go to school in the morning. Those who are teachers, I'm like, I have no idea. How do I connect with people at 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
And now with this system, I do all my friend requests. I do send any welcome messages from yesterday. And it just simplifies things so much.
Yeah. It makes the thing is that it's hard. Well, for Laura, because she has made so many friends, it happened for her really quickly. But typically, the people that I've shared this with and that have started trying to do something similar, it doesn't happen overnight. It's taking a little bit longer, definitely seeing some growth, but it's over a few months. It has to build and build and build. For Laura, like I said, but where maybe other people are making 5 or 6 friends a day, she's probably, she made 200 in a month. So it's a little bit different. So her business has grown really, really fast.
And when we started, you did say this is going to be a gradual slow,
You're getting that.
slow process, but don't worry, we'll get you there. And I just kind of said, I'm going for it.
I want it now. I don't have time to wait.
Yeah.
Which is
I'll be
awesome.
there.
I know. It's been amazing to watch you. It's been so awesome to watch you grow. But I definitely want to give anybody else any other opportunities to ask any questions. Or do any of you feel like this is stuff that you could use yourself? Like things that you feel like could help you?
Kind of.
Who said kind of? I can't see.
Sounds like my girl Sunil. Is she on here?
No, I don't see the name, although I don't think I can see everybody right now.
No. It's usually, I was to say Wednesdays and Fridays she works from home, so I was like shocked to see her on.
Okay.
But somebody sounds just like her.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Now I have more people on here. Okay. Well,
I think
go ahead. No.
I think it's a good system for me. Like I've been talking to Laura and I've been adding friends like really good in the last 2 weeks. So I've got about to 25 so far. Mine is finding like the work time because I'm not productive like some people at 5 a.m. I'm doing it basically when I drop my son off at school and I come back home.
Mm-hmm.
But then I find like throughout the day with a 3-year-old at home, it gets kind of crazy and I feel like I'm just kind of mindlessly kind of going on Facebook trying to get stuff done. And then I feel like when do I unplug by the end of the day? Like, because sometimes for me, like I said to Laura, it feels like I'm Beachbody mind 24/7, which, you know, it's great, but then your mind starts to go and you're like, how do I shut it off? Because now I'm at to the point where it's an overload and I'm just getting crap instead of actually productive good things.
Yeah.
That is actually a common thing. It's really hard. It took me years to learn how to separate business and home life because my mind was always Beachbody for a long time. And I realized until I actually sat down and said, okay, these are the hours I'm going to work, even if I have interruptions. These are the hours I'm going to work. And by 7:30, usually about 7:30, I cut it off. I'm like, that's it. That's my time with Mike. That's my time to do whatever at night, and I'm done. And if somebody's about to buy a challenge pack or sign up as a coach, I will sneak in I will answer sometimes. But typically, I try to cut it off then. I think that what you'll have to do is I think you still need to know if you can't physically make a power hour, if you physically cannot spend 1 to 2 hours straight, I think you still have to have a to-do list from start to finish in order of importance. So like friend requesting, looking through those people's walls, getting your invites, personal development, like those things are non-negotiable pretty much. So I feel like in follow-ups, I feel like those things, you need to just know where you left off. Do as much as you can. When you get an interruption, try to get back and focus exactly where you left off and start over. I mean, you just can't, you have to have a plan in place no matter what hours you're working the business. And when it's done, here's one thing I can tell you. People aren't going to leave you. They're not going to go away because you don't answer their questions for 12 hours. I used to freak out and be like, they're going to find another coach. If I don't answer them right away, they're just going to go to somebody else. Not true. They will wait for you. So,
that was me last night at 1 a.m. I'm like, oh my God, who's? I'm like, my husband's like, who the heck is messaging? Like, it's somebody with Beachbody. He's like, are you kidding me? It's one. I'm like, I just have to answer it.
Just put your phone away at 8 p.m. or whatever time you choose to make family time or whatever, and just don't touch it. They will not leave. They will be there the next day. So it's one of the things that you need to learn that early on because it will consume you and this will destroy you later in your career. In your Beachbody career, if you let that go on for too long, you will start to resent the business. You literally have to separate your personal life from Beachbody.
Yeah, Laura's gotten some messages going, I'm going crazy. It's Beachbody in my mind all day. She's like, dude, put the phone down.
Yeah, you do. It's true. It's true. You have to learn to just kind of do it. And it took me a long time. My husband had to yell at me for 2 years before I finally listened. But I'm glad I didn't let that go on.
So I see Alicia just asked a question too.
Who?
Alicia Hunter?
Yep.
Sorry I missed the beginning. Do you invite anyone or only people you have a connection with? Hi, there you are.
I'm hiding in my basement.
I personally have to have 10 or more mutual friends with them, and I usually check who those mutual friends are. And if they're already friends with a Beachbody coach, I don't add them. Especially with someone from my own team, I really don't add them then.
I have that problem with Laura.
Yeah.
I'm like, does she know Laura? Okay, she knows Laura.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
And I feel like when you're doing invites too, you guys, I know I've talked about this too, and I know Laura feels this way, but the relationship building in between, from that moment you become friends with them to when you're going to invite them, is super important. The reason I do 60 days is because I feel like it's enough time for me to get to know them, but it also puts pressure on me to have to try to build a relationship. If I let it sit there too long and try to invite them later, I'm just going to take my time and sit on it, and I'm not going to work hard enough to try to build relationships. And I feel like I need to put that pressure on myself. So I give myself a deadline. I am inviting them at the 60-day mark, which means that I have to build that relationship first. And I know Laura does it the same way. So even though she invites to free groups, I just invite right into my challenge group because I don't run free groups. The only reason I don't run free groups is because I could never get anybody to join me.
What's the difference between free groups and challenge groups then?
Every month I'll run like a squat challenge or a plank challenge for 30 days though. So I'll invite them to that first. Some months if I skip that and just do like a free clean eating, I'll invite them to that first as opposed to a full challenge group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And when people do clean eating, a lot of times they'll just do like 5 or 7 days, like a little quick one, just to get people like a taste of what a challenge group might be like, sort of.
Right.
I really get to know people over the 30 days, especially like the squats and that. Because I'll message them even if they're not posting, and I really get to know them over that 30 days. So I like it. That's how I like to do it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anybody else? Any other questions from anyone? No? Okay. I hope that you all found this helpful. I am going to wrap this all up for everybody, not to, I don't want to make everybody sit in here. I know there are people have kids and other things to do, but if there's ever any questions, you guys, please feel free to, I'm sure Laura won't mind you reaching out to her. Please feel free to post on one of the team pages if you have any questions ever, and we're happy to answer those, or she's happy to answer those. And hopefully you guys have taken something away from this. My goal every time I jump on any team call is always to be able to take away one piece of information, one thing that I can apply. And if it's more, that's great. But I always hope that I have at least one thing that I'll be able to use for my business moving forward. And I actually really like the fact, Laura, that you go through that person's entire friend list and don't stop until you've actually gone through that one individual friend. So I find that really interesting, and I'm probably going to try that. That works for me too. So. Thanks for jumping on, guys. And if you ever need anything, reach out, okay? All right. I recorded this, so everybody be proud. Because
smile.
doesn't always happen.
You have to smile.
Oh, you're taking a screenshot?
I am. There we go.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.